Hey guys, if you're here because you want to listen today all about how we can not have portion control as a thing, as a way of controlling our diet, and instead learn a new way, a different way to really fill up your body in a way that doesn't feel obsessive, that doesn't feel like you are trying to control anything. So I want you to just join me today in talking more about how you don't have to count your calories or your macros. You don't have to control the amount of food that you're eating, and you don't have to use control to really manage the portions that you're eating every single day. I don't believe in doing that. I don't measure any of my food. And the moment that I stopped doing this and I started understanding a different way of being, I was actually able to get better results and more sustainable results instead of counting, weighing, portioning my food all the time. What I'm going to tell you over the next 10 minutes is how I've empowered myself and how I empower my clients to ditch units of measurement and portioning their food so that they can have a healthy life and lose weight naturally. So let me know in the comments, for those of you who are joining, if you have ever said any of these things to yourself. I am so out of control with food. I just wish that I had more self control, or I need to control how much I'm eating. You can already hear that there's some limiting beliefs in there, right? I am so out of control. I wish I had more self-control. I need to control how much I'm eating. Even the energy of those thoughts, or the things that we are saying to ourselves, um, really sends our body the signal that we can't listen to our own body's signals, and that we need some sort of a system or a plan to create some constraints or some boundaries with ourselves when it comes to food, instead of really tuning into how it can feel when you eat the right foods for your body. Usually, when we do this, we go and look for ways to be more in control so that you don't overeat, right? You spend all this time trying to control yourself around food instead of feeling free to eat what you want. Sometimes you eat too much. Sometimes you get too many servings of food. Sometimes you might lose yourself in a bag of potato chips or in multiple bowls of ice cream. I have been there. And sometimes it still is something that can happen, but we can't give ourselves the message that we're so out of control. We need to listen to the next course of action that we might take for ourselves in how we actually feel when that happens. Unfortunately, we don't slow ourselves down enough to really listen to those subtle cues. And instead, we just jump right to the problem that we believe that we are so out of control. And if this is something that you've experienced, you're not alone in this. I spent years doing this. And if I could just have portion control and stop overeating and eat less, I thought that I would lose weight and I would feel better about my body. I'd look at the serving sizes of foods and try to only eat that little much, right? I try to count how many almonds I was eating. I try to count how many potato chips I was eating. I would try to count or portion out my ice cream exactly how much it said on the container. And honestly, that was exhausting and it didn't work for me for the long term. Today, I'm able to look at something and really understand how much I should have for my body in that moment in order for me to feel good, instead of controlling the portions in order to try to make sure that I'm going to lose weight. So you can have the result with both. You can still lose weight naturally, but you can either try to control everything by reading all of the labels and the serving sizes and counting and weighing and portioning everything, or understand how much your body needs naturally, which is something that we all want to get in touch with. So we have a lifetime of health, not just in this window where we feel like we have to diet. I don't want you to have to calculate the foods with less calories so that you can have more of it. I don't want you to compare the calories of foods in the foods that you buy in the grocery store, right? Where you pick up the package, you're like, well, this one has less calories. So because this one has less calories, I'm going to choose this one. Wow, we have a lot of celebration things today in my Instagram. I don't want you guys to have to do that. I don't want you to have to diligently track your points or your macros or your calories or your allotted daily allowance of food in order to be able to live your life. That is not living. That is controlling, and it's not necessary when you're really fueling yourself with the right foods and understanding how food makes you feel. All of this control, especially portion control, feeds the belief that you are out of control. It's feeding the belief that you can't possibly listen to your body's signals and you need something to control yourself. Diets and thin women on social media, diet plan advertisements, these all types of things teach us to feel that we are out of control and there's something wrong with us, but it's just not true. We tell ourselves there's a system out there to control the portions of foods that we're eating without thinking about one very important thing. How do I feel when I am eating? How do I feel before I'm going to eat? How do I feel during I'm eating? And how do I feel after I'm eating? We've been taught that anything over a certain amount is bad. But what I'm trying to illustrate for you guys today is that when you eat, you can actually understand how that food is affecting your body. Some things that you might want to pay attention to. How is this food affecting my mood? How is this food affecting my digestion? Am I gassy or bloated or constipated all of the time? Then something I'm eating isn't resonating with me. How is this food affecting my focus? Do I feel like I'm in a brain fog all the time? A lot of people that I know who have some portion control tendencies will overeat, and then they will end up having a lot of brain fog, either from having overeaten something or because of something they're eating is affecting them. But if you can listen to how the food is affecting you, then all you have to do is really think about how you feel instead of how much you're actually eating. Another common symptom of stress that you might experience is your energy. A lot of my clients come to me and they say, I have really off energy levels. And so instead of thinking about, well, how much food should you be eating? We think about what foods are depleting your energy levels, because those foods that are depleting your energy levels or the way that you're living your life with low energy ultimately causes you to overeat because you feel really tired all the time, or you're trying to busy yourself, or you're trying to stimulate yourself. So there's certain things that cause you to overeat or cause you to have bigger portions of food, instead of you listening to some of the stress that might be going on in your body that can help you understand what you can be eating in order to live your life fully. So what ends up happening instead is that people believe that what they're eating or the amount they're eating or their lack of control is causing all of their issues, when really it's the lack of understanding or the lack of feeling what's going on inside of your body that's the actual issue. So what happens? We use external things like diets that ultimately make us feel small. They make us feel like we can't, that we're trapped inside of this system. And when we're trapped inside of the system, we don't care anymore. And then we overeat. And then we start getting stuck in the cycle of either restricting or overeating and having too much food. We end up shoving all of our freedom to eat into one little thing, portion control, that measures our ability to be able to actually take action for ourselves, instead of listening to the most important parts of ourselves that are telling us how food is affecting our bodies. So if you just stop focusing on controlling portions of food, what if knowing how food made your body feel worked instead? You'd stop portioning everything and wasting your time doing all of that. And you just ask yourself some very important questions. How do I feel before I eat? How do I feel while I'm eating? And how do I feel after I'm eating? Then you can make some conscious choices with food that are going to help you feel better. And then what'll end up happening for you, which happens for my clients, is that they say their eyes start to match their stomach. The foods that they see start to actually match how they want to feel, right? So if I am going to get myself a serving of food, then I can actually see how much I'm going to eat in order to feel good, instead of measuring it in order to lose weight. Like I said earlier, you can have the same result. You can lose weight naturally either by controlling and portioning your food, or learn how to match your eyes with your stomach, as my clients say, so that you can have a lifetime of just choosing food naturally, and then as a result, losing weight naturally. I want you to get your time back from food portioning. I don't want you to have to obsess about food portioning anymore. And I want you to naturally know how much food is too much, what to increase and what to have less of, instead of spending all that time portioning it. You'll get your time back, you'll get your brain space back, and you get your joy back when you're eating. And that's the truth about it. And the main thing is that you just trust yourself again. You'd release control and you'd feel more empowered over food. I want you to feel empowered about the foods you're choosing. And it does take a little bit of detective work in order to do this, in order to know how foods make you feel. So, if you want to save time and you want to stop relying on portion control and you want to be able to feel like you're empowered around food and you know how much food to put on your plate and you know what's going to make you feel good, so you make those choices easily for the long haul, then I want you guys to download the new guide that I've written called The Weight Loss Breakthrough in 6 Simple Steps. This is going to teach you how you can listen to your body so that you don't have to do portion control, but you can actually understand how food is working in your body in your favor, or how it's actually causing you to overeat or causing you to feel poorly in your body, which is a signal that your body is in inflammatory stress and maybe putting on weight. So, this guide will teach you how you can actually listen to your body and how you can get your own health or weight loss breakthrough. And the work that I've done with my clients, I've never asked them to measure anything. In fact, when we do food logging, I tell them you're not allowed to measure anything. I don't want you to tell me the macros, the points, the calories. I don't even want you to tell me how many cups or how many servings you're having. It's all about how you feel. If you overeat something, then you know that you feel that you've overeaten something. The question is, why did that happen? Did it happen because you were overly tired? Did it happen because it's an addictive food? Did it happen because you were stressed out or maybe you were bored? So those types of things can happen and they cause us to overeat. That doesn't mean that you need to control your portions. It means that you need to take a holistic look at your life and think about, what is it that's causing me to overeat this? Sometimes it's the food. Sugar is really addictive. If we go down the path of eating refined sugar without pairing it with healthy fats or proteins, you're going to ultimately end up overeating it. If you start your meal with protein, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to overeat because it's helping satiate your appetite before you go ahead and eat other things. So these types of things are in the guide so that, again, you can learn how to listen to your body and you can really understand what you need to do that is not portioning, weighing, measuring your food. Just the other day, I had a coaching call with a client who said that she wanted a military diet. She thought that she lacked discipline in her life in order to be able to lose weight. So she wanted like the exact measurements, how much to eat, a calorie allowance, and all of that. And this isn't the first time that someone believes that they need that in order to be able to follow through to get their weight loss result. But what I explained to her is that it's not about more discipline, it's about being more deliberate. Okay. I want you guys to see the difference between that. It's not discipline, it's being more deliberate. Being deliberate about the choices you're making means that you understand what foods are triggering for you, why you're overeating, and the foods that you tend to overeat, and how you can maintain the homeostasis in your body so that doesn't happen. Being deliberate means that instead of measuring anything and being disciplined, you're more in touch with the choices that you're eating, and that the foods that you choose are actually serving you in any given moment. And all anybody wants is a proven plan. So today, as I told you, I'm giving away this free resource for the whole month of October, and I want to make sure that I get this in your hands. Listening to your body for results that last is one of the top um, commitments that my clients end up making, because when you don't listen to your body, you're stuck in that cycle of yo-yo dieting and you're stuck in the cycle of counting, portioning, weighing, which isn't sustainable. If you want this resource, I'm going to upload it to the links in my bio and in my Facebook group called Weight Loss Breakthroughs for Women 40 Plus. It's a support group that I have on Facebook. I'd love for you guys to join. In that group, I'll go ahead and post the link and I'll answer any questions that you guys have about the guide. And I'm excited to get this in the hands of any woman who feels like they need to portion, weigh, or count their food instead of really tuning in and listening to their body. Okay. So I want you to understand what you can feel in order to be able to do this. And the guide is going to explain all of that for you step by step and give you suggestions of what you can do today. All right. So I hope that you find this useful. And I can't wait for you guys to download the guide so that you can have your own health and weight loss breakthrough. It's really important to me that every woman knows that she doesn't have to be stuck in the confines of fad dieting and that she can learn to listen to her body's natural cues for a lifetime of health. All right. Hope you guys have a great day.